My best friend stole my fiancé and married him, and now she wants to be friends again. I've always been the kind of person who puts their friends first. I'd been best friends with Emily for almost a decade. We did everything together: school, parties, vacations, even the same job for a while. She was always there for me when I needed her, or at least that's what I thought. When I met Mark, things seemed to click. He was everything I wanted: charming, funny, and had his life together. I never saw any red flags. He loved me, I loved him, and everything was smooth. He proposed after a year of dating, and I was over the moon. Emily was there with me through it all, the one person who knew all the details of my relationship, my plans for the future. I thought she was my biggest cheerleader. Then things started to change. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. I started noticing that Mark would check his phone more when Emily was around. It didn't seem like much at first. Maybe it was work, maybe it wasn't. But there was a certain unease in my stomach whenever the three of us hung out. Emily started showing up at random times, sometimes at my place when Mark wasn't around. She'd make excuses for why she couldn't hang out with me, but always found a reason to drop by when he was there. I brushed it off. I didn't want to make something out of nothing. But then, one night, things shifted. I came home early from work, excited to spend some time with Mark before our wedding. I walked in and heard voices, quiet at first, then louder as I approached the living room. When I opened the door, I saw them, Mark and Emily, together. They weren't just talking, they were hugging, too closely. I froze. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. Emily turned when she heard me. Mark didn't even look up. The weight of what I was seeing hit me like a brick. I felt my heart drop. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to admit what I was seeing, but there was no denying it. Emily, my best friend, the one person I trusted more than anyone, was in my home with my fiancé, looking at me like she hadn't just shattered everything I thought I knew. Mark finally looked up. "Babe, it's not what you think," he said, but his voice didn't sound convincing. I wasn't even sure I could hear him over the rush of blood in my ears. "We were just talking about the wedding," Emily added, like that was supposed to explain the situation. But it didn't. It didn't explain the way they were holding each other, the way Mark's eyes looked at her differently than he ever looked at me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't process it. I'd left. I didn't say anything. I just grabbed my keys and walked out the door. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay in that house, in that moment, with both of them standing there lying to my face. I didn't talk to either of them for days. I stayed with a friend, called off the wedding, and avoided my phone. The next few weeks were a blur. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I just existed, moving through each day in a fog. Mark called, sent texts, but I ignored all of it. I couldn't hear his explanations. I didn't want to hear what he had to say. Emily called too, but I blocked her. I didn't want her in my life anymore. I couldn't believe she'd do this to me. I couldn't understand why she thought it was okay. Eventually, Mark gave up trying to contact me. Emily didn't. She kept texting, leaving messages, sending emails. She kept apologizing, kept saying she didn't mean to hurt me, but that was the problem, wasn't it? She did. She hurt me. She took the one thing I loved and broke it in front of my face, and now she wanted to apologize for it. I knew I couldn't forgive her. I knew I couldn't let her back into my life like nothing had happened. But what I didn't know was whether I could move on, whether I could ever look at friendship the same way again. I didn't want to dwell on it. I didn't want to replay the moments in my head. But the truth was, it wasn't just Mark that betrayed me. It was Emily too, and that was harder to process. I could deal with losing a fiancé, but losing a best friend, the one person who had known all of my secrets, my hopes, my dreams for the future, that was the real wound. It wasn't just about the wedding or the betrayal, it was about everything she knew and still chose to destroy. And now she wanted to be friends again. It's been weeks and I still can't wrap my head around what happened. Emily, my best friend, the one person I trusted more than anyone, stole the love of my life. The betrayal isn't just in the act, it's in the fact that she knew everything. She knew how much I loved Mark. She knew our plans, our future. She knew how much he meant to me. And still, she went ahead and ruined it all. I've been ignoring her texts and calls for weeks. She tried everything to get through. Long paragraphs of apology, promises of regret, pleading for forgiveness. Every message felt like a slap to the face. How could she expect me to just accept it, to act like nothing happened? She crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. Then one day, out of the blue, she showed up at my door. I was sitting on the couch trying to piece together my shattered life when the doorbell rang. It wasn't a surprise. I'd been expecting this in a way. I didn't open the door right away, but I knew who it was. I knew it was Emily. I'd been dreading this moment. Part of me wanted to keep hiding from her, but the other part of me knew this confrontation was inevitable. I stood up and walked to the door slowly, trying to gather my thoughts. I opened it, and there she was. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her face pale from sleepless nights. She looked the same, but different, like a stranger, like someone who had betrayed me, not the person I once trusted with my life. "I know you're mad at me," she said. her voice trembling. I know I messed up, but I can't live with myself anymore. I need to talk to you. Please. I didn't want to hear her voice. I didn't want to listen to her excuses. I didn't want to hear anything that came out of her mouth. I crossed my arms and stood there silently, waiting for her to continue. I never meant for this to happen, she said, her words rushing out. I never wanted to hurt you. I've been so lost, and Mark and I, we were just drawn to each other. It wasn't planned. It wasn't something I expected, but it happened. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I wanted to scream at her. I wanted to tear her apart for what she did, for the pain she caused, for the way she looked me in the eye while she was doing it. But I didn't. Instead, I just stared at her. I was numb. I felt like I was looking at a stranger who wore my best friend's face. I can't believe this, I finally said. My voice cracked, and I hated how weak it sounded. You knew everything about me. You knew how much I loved Mark, how much I wanted to marry him. And you still... I shook my head. You still did this. I didn't want to hurt you, she repeated, her voice softer now, but no less desperate. I never meant for it to go this far. I didn't want to lose you. You're my best friend, and I've ruined everything. Yeah, I said coldly. You have. I took a deep breath, and I don't know if I can ever forgive you for it. You crossed a line. You broke something that can't be fixed. Her eyes welled up again. Please, I never meant for any of this. I can't undo it, but I want to try. I want to make it right. I stood there for a long moment, not sure what to do. I thought about everything she'd done. I thought about the years of friendship, the trust I had given her. I thought about how she had broken it all. I didn't know if I could ever fix what was broken, even if she wanted to. I don't know how to go back, I said quietly, my voice breaking despite myself. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to pretend like everything is okay when you've destroyed everything I had. I don't expect you to forgive me right away, she said, taking a step forward. But I'm asking for a chance to prove I'm sorry, a chance to show you that I've learned. Please. I shook my head, tears welling up in my eyes. I wasn't crying for her. I wasn't crying for what she did. I was crying for myself, for the future I had lost, for the trust that had been shattered, and for the person I once thought I knew. I don't know if I can ever trust you again, I whispered. I don't know if I want you in my life anymore. She took a deep breath and nodded, tears falling freely now. I understand. I'm so sorry, but if there's ever a chance, I'll wait. I'll do whatever it takes to show you I'm sorry. I closed the door quietly, not knowing if I'd ever open it again for her. I was exhausted, mentally, emotionally drained. I'd given everything to that friendship, and she had taken it all. Now I had to pick up the pieces and figure out how to move on. It was painful. It was hard, but it was something I needed to do for myself. The next few days were a blur. I didn't talk to Emily. I didn't talk to Mark. I didn't want to hear from either of them. Every thought of what happened made my stomach turn. I felt betrayed by both of them, but at the same time I realized it wasn't just them. I had to face the truth. I had trusted the wrong people. I didn't know what I wanted anymore. I didn't know if I could forgive Emily. I didn't know if I could ever look at her the same way. But one thing was certain. I couldn't let this define me. I had to keep moving forward. But the real question remained. Could I ever forgive? Could I ever let her back in? Months have passed since that conversation. Emily hasn't contacted me since the day I shut the door on her. And Mark? He's been completely silent. I don't think either of them knows how to approach me. And honestly, I don't know how to approach them either. The wound is still fresh and the anger hasn't completely faded, but the numbness is starting to settle in. I guess that's how grief works. You don't heal, you just learn to live with it. But then, out of nowhere, I get a message. It's from Emily. Again, I don't know why I even open it, but I do. It's a simple message full of apologies. She says she's changed, that she's been working on herself, that she's learned so much. And then she adds, I miss you. I miss our friendship. I've made so many mistakes, and I can't undo what I've done. But I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I can't breathe for a second. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. I don't know if I should be angry, hurt, or just numb to it all. I stare at the message for what feels like an eternity, trying to figure out if I'm ready for this. If I'm ready to hear from her, let alone forgive her. I didn't want to believe that I could ever forgive her. What she did was unforgivable. She stole my fiancé. She destroyed the one relationship I thought was solid. She took everything from me without a second thought. I thought I'd cut her out of my life forever. That was my plan, at least. But here I am, holding my phone, trying to figure out whether I should reply. I think about everything she's done. I think about all the good times we had. I think about the years of friendship and how easily she discarded them. Was it just a friendship to her? Was I nothing more than someone she could use when things weren't going well? Did she care about me at all? Was it ever real? The anger resurfaces. I want to scream. I want to tell her how much she's hurt me. I want to tell her that I'll never forgive her. But then there's that voice in my head, the one that says, what do you have to lose? Do you really want to hold on to this anger forever? Do you really want to let her keep ruining your peace of mind? I don't respond right away. I can't. My heart is still too heavy with all the broken pieces. But over the next few days, I can't help but think about it. I start to wonder if maybe forgiveness could set me free. If I could finally let go of the resentment, not for her, but for me. Could I move on if I let go of what she did? But then the fear sets in. What if I forgive her and she does it again? What if I let her back in and she betrays me all over again? The trust is broken and I don't know if I can rebuild it. I don't know if I can ever look at her the same way. I don't know if I can ever trust her again. I want to just block her and pretend like I never saw her message. I want to walk away and never look back. That's the easy option. The one that keeps me safe from more hurt. But is it the right one? I don't know. I spend the next few weeks in a fog. I don't reach out to Emily. I don't even respond to her message. But the thought of forgiveness keeps creeping into my mind. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I'm the one holding onto the pain. I'm the one carrying it around, and I don't know if I can keep doing it forever. I don't know if I can keep living with this weight. I talked to some friends about it. They tell me to forgive her, that it's not for her, but for me, that I shouldn't let this define who I am. But none of them know how deep the betrayal cuts. They don't understand what it feels like to have someone you loved and trusted break your heart. They don't know what it's like to have that person be the one you thought would always be there for you. But the truth is, I don't know what it feels like to keep holding on to all this anger either. I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life letting her actions define my happiness. I don't know if I can keep letting this betrayal control my life. I spend days, maybe weeks thinking about it. I go over every conversation, every promise, every lie. I go over the fact that she betrayed me, but I also think about how much I miss the person she used to be. I think about all the good times, all the memories, and how much I miss the friendship we once had. Eventually, I decide to respond, not because I'm ready to forgive her, but because I need closure, because I need to stop letting this eat away at me. I need to make a decision, one way or another. I type out a message, carefully considering every word. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive you. What you did hurt me more than I can say, but I'm willing to talk. I don't know where this will go, but I'm willing to listen. I can't promise anything, but I need to know if you're really sorry for what happened. I send it, and then I wait. My heart races as I stare at my phone, waiting for her response. She replies within minutes, and this time, it's different. It's not a message full of excuses or apologies. It's a simple message. I'm so sorry. I can't undo what I did. I'm sorry for everything. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I hope we can start to rebuild, even if it takes time. And for the first time in months, I feel something shift inside me. It's not forgiveness. Not yet, but maybe, just maybe, it's the start of something new. What would you do if your best friend came back after betraying you? Would you give them another chance? Or would you walk away for good? Drop your feet.